What's going on, everybody? Nazi Lover XOX here, and I wanted to make a Call of Duty video today to discuss. Well, this is going to be it's going to sound very broad when I say it, but trust me, I'll narrow it down. I want to discuss ethics. That's a big topic. And particularly, what is ethics? What is ethical? What is unethical? And there's so many different ways I could go with this. And there's so many different things you could talk about. But I want to narrow it down to a few interesting points that I was thinking of, and that is things like let's start off with murder. All right. Is murder ethical in certain circumstances? Now, the first thing you have to do is you have to define what is a murder. And of course, that's going to be so ambiguous that it's the definition of murder is probably going to be different for most people. I mean, your definition of murder may be killing any innocent life, or killing anyone. You know, I don't know. My definition of murder is killing at all. If you are killing a cow, if you're killing a pig, if you're killing a human, if you're killing something, then you're murdering. And based on that definition, I have to say murder is not wrong. And that makes me sound like an evil person, but murder in and of itself is not wrong. Now, murder in certain circumstances is wrong. Murdering for the sake of murdering is wrong against human beings. And murdering just, serial killers or that kind of thing, that's wrong. But ethically speaking, I can't say murder in and of itself is wrong based upon my definition of murder. It's an interesting thing to think about. And it's the same with a lot of things. And that brings me to another point where important debates are so focused on ethics of things where we don't even know the definition of the things we're arguing in the way that I'm not gonna go too deep into this because this is a very hot topic, but let's talk about abortion for about 15 seconds. People say it's murder of an innocent life, but they aren't defining murder. They aren't defining what murder is, and murder's definition is different for everyone. So you can't really bring that into an argument of this kind of thing because you're not defining the terms correctly. And I think that's the biggest backbone of ethics, is you have to define your terms. And everyone has to define their terms in the same way, and I don't think that's possible. You can't make laws based on ethics, because everyone's ethical. Everyone's ethics are different, and B, your ethics should not determine my ethics, and C, your ethical definitions of different terms are going to be different than mine. Let's move into something like marriage equality. People use the argument that it's unethical and it's immoral for a man to marry a man or a woman to marry a woman. And my question for you is, since when does your view of what's immoral need to affect what I view of what's immoral? I don't give a fuck what you think is immoral. If I think it's immoral, then I won't do it. If you think it's immoral, don't fucking do it. Just because you have a problem with it does not mean that I need to have a problem with it. I don't need to agree with you on anything and everything. It's the same way with pretty much every issue that exists in the world today. It's like I mean, you could pick any issue. I somehow got a ninja defuse there. You could pick any issue for anything and just say, you know what, we don't need to fight about this. But it becomes very difficult to then enact laws and things of that nature when you can't agree on anything. And that's a section where I think democracy kind of falls short, because democracy, the government itself, you know, it's supposed to be based on majority rule. But the majority's not always right. The majority is sometimes wrong. The majority is often wrong. And if you're gonna base your entire government on that, you know, what challenge unlocks, that's kind of annoying. Anyway, it's a very interesting thing to talk about, and I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on it. And you know, if there's a topic I didn't bring up because I only brought up murder, I got another ninja defuse. I only brought up like murder and marriage equality, but you know, if you want to talk ethics, go ahead and message me. We'll talk ethics. We'll define stuff, and we'll keep it what's the word? Keep it civil. Let's not no personal attacks, no attacks of that nature, because I will block you. So that's really all I wanted to talk about. Yeah. My biggest thing I want to leave you with before I sign off is, if you're talking about ethics, define your terms. Define what you're talking about. Don't just assume that the other side knows what you're talking about. And don't just assume that you know what you're talking about. Because you may think, hey, I know what I'm talking about. I know what murder is. Just very logically go through what is murder, define what murder is, define it all, and do that for everything you argue about. Look at it logically and do the steps, and then civil argument about it, and you'll win a lot more arguments that way. You'll sound a lot smarter, and you'll be a lot smarter. Anyway, that's where I'm going to end. Thank you all for watching. Please leave a like and subscribe, and hope you all enjoyed. See you guys later. Bye bye.